Hello, today I'm going to teach you how to get your iPadio vlog listed on the iTunes Music Store as a podcast. This will allow anyone who's using iTunes to find and download your vlog as if it were any other podcast, because that's all it essentially is, just a podcast. To do this, let's assume that you're successfully logged into your account on iPadio. As you can see, I am here. Today I will be demonstrating using a podcast I started last week, which I've called The Pod Delusion. So from the iPadio homepage, head over to your profile by clicking My Profile. And you'll see your vlogs listed. Now, I've only done one episode of The Pod Delusion so far, which is why only one episode is listed here. But what we're looking for, and what is important, is the location of the RSS feed. This is so we can tell iTunes where to look to find the latest episodes of your vlog, or podcast as you might want to call it. So if you find the orange icon here, right click and look for copy link location, or text meaning the same as that, could be similar to that. I'm using Mozilla Firefox to do this. If you use Internet Explorer, Google Chrome or Apple's Safari web browser, I'm sure there will be a similar thing there. The important thing to do is to get the web address of the RSS feed. So I've copied that now using the copy link location to my computer's clipboard. So let's head over to iTunes to submit it. So load up your iTunes software and head over to the iTunes Music Store. And then, when you're in the music store, at the top you'll see a tab called Podcasts. Simply give this a click and it will take you to Apple's page on podcasts. And if you look to the right of the page, you'll see a link to submit a podcast. There's literally only one step to doing this. All you have to do is paste in that URL of the RSS feed and click continue. Now, in order to verify these things, Apple have obviously linked up their podcast submission mechanism to their Apple accounts. In which case, at this point, you then put in your password, as I've done here, click continue, and your podcast will be submitted. Now, I've already submitted this the other day, but assuming that you haven't submitted yours yet, that won't happen. It is pre-moderated to the iTunes Music Store, which means it will take a couple of days to appear, but once it does, it will be perfectly visible, just like anything else. So if I do a quick search for Pod Delusion, which was the name of my podcast, as you can see, it's listed on the search result for the Pod Delusion, and I can now click this, and there it is listed on the iTunes Music Store. Excellent. So then anyone who views this on the iTunes Store can simply click subscribe to your podcast, or can download the individual episodes down here. And if you subscribe, you will obviously see it listed in your iTunes podcasts window, as we can see here. And that really is all there is to it. I hope this has been informative and useful.